So Noah Lyles does it again, and he wins from the back of the field again, and gives himself a PB as well in the most important race for any athlete in a career, which is the 100-meter final in the Olympics. And it was a remarkable race because it was so close between three or four athletes. And it's so much to unwrap in this race, really, because there's so much to learn from it as well. And the fact is, I want to actually focus on the block start and the importance of the block start, or lack of it, to be honest with you, because we look at what Noah Lyles did yesterday and what he did in the World Championships previously, is that he won 100 meters with not a great start at all. I mean, last night he was the slowest out the blocks, I think, and he was well behind the leaders when they're coming in, but he still came through. Now, there's a pattern to this, because there seems to be, more often than not, athletes who in the 100 meters are not known for their block starts come through and win the most important races, the World Championships and the Olympics. And it happens with Carl Lewis, it happened with Donovan Bailey. So Carl Lewis broke the world record in Tokyo 91 from the back of the field. You can go on YouTube and watch that race. He had a terrible start. He wasn't known for a great start. And then Donovan Bailey, who was injured coming into the 1996 Olympic final, he was injured. He was trying to get over their injury, so much so that he couldn't actually put full force into the blocks at the start. So he had to come out more conservatively, and he came out in the 100-meter final. He was one of the slowest out of the blocks, and he came through and won it with a new world record time. So with Noah Lyles doing it twice now in the most important races, the World 100 meters, World Championship 100 meters, and the Olympic final, and Carl Lewis and Donovan Bailey showing that breaking world records, you don't need to do a great start. And you start to question, right, what does make a great start? Okay, what does make a great start? For us, really a great start is one that gives you a foundation for the rest of the race, to run well for the rest of the race. And does that mean the fastest reaction time? Does that mean the greatest angle coming out of the blocks? Does it mean the greatest foot positioning, low and shallow foot strides out? Not always. It's how you are as you start. Are you creating the foundation of relaxation? Because that's what these athletes do. They depend upon it. In the examples that I was talking about, Carl Lewis, Donovan Bailey, Noah Lyles, they create the foundation for relaxation. Might not be the fastest reaction time out of the blocks, might not be the greatest technical block start, but they come out and create the foundation of relaxation. And this is something we can learn from, is thinking, well, do you put, as a sprinter, if you're a sprinter, do you put too much emphasis on the block start? Is it too important for you? And why is it important? It's the first 5-10 meters of a race. A 100-meter race is 100 meters. It's how you finish. And these athletes know that. They don't care how bad they are out of the blocks. Noah Lyles doesn't care. What he does may say, I need to improve out the blocks, I need to do this and that. He doesn't come out ever fast out the blocks. But he still comes through and wins it because he knows he's got confidence in his ability. And he knows how to stay relaxed in the most pressurized time. Whereas if you look at other athletes through the years that have great starts, look, maybe Christian Coleman, maybe Shane Thompson last night, known for great starts, powerful athletes. But the one thing about getting a great start is that you have to, once you get a great start, you come out in front of everybody else. You have to hold on to that start. You have to hold on to that lead for the rest of the race, which is 80, 90 meters to go. And what do you do when you try to hold on to that lead? You try. When you try harder and you tighten. And this is what happens to great starters. They can do it in these athletes, great starters can do it in races that don't really matter, or don't matter so much. Diamond League, other meets. But when it's the Olympic final, when it's one race to get it right, if you get a great start, then the pressure mounts even more. And Noah Lyles knows that. He doesn't care if he gets a great start or not. He knows he's going to come through and win it. And that's what he knows, that the race is 100 meters long, not a block start, not 10 or 20 meters. You've got to understand, do you put too much emphasis on this block start? Do you see it as the defining point of your race? Because you can't do that. You've got to come out of the blocks and know you're going to win or get a PB regardless of the start. And that's hugely important. And that takes confidence and takes relaxation. A block start is only there to create the foundation relaxation for your race. Once you're relaxed, you can come through and create power, create speed, get your top speed up higher, and you'll last longer in the race, which a lot of people don't understand, a lot of sprinters don't understand, is that 100 meters is an endurance event. And it's how slowly you slow down at the end of the race that actually allows you to win it. And when you're relaxed, you have more endurance, you have more energy, you are able to last longer, you're able to come through and basically keep the speed up higher. Not only get up to a higher top speed, but keep the speed up higher. Loads of athletes show this, and Noah Lyles last night showed that. He was composed. He knew how to keep himself relaxed for the most important time. And he talks a lot, but he backs it up all the time against athletes that are probably faster than, more talented than him. But it's at the Olympic final, it's so much more than that. It's not the most talented that were in the race, it's the one that can actually keep it together and stay relaxed and not put so much emphasis on the block start. One thing we noticed with Kashane Thompson, great starter, came through, but it was tightening up towards the end, as great starters often do. And when the pressure hits them towards the end of the race, they start to reach for the line. They start to try too hard, and they start to slow down quicker. And this is what allowed Noah Lyles to come through and win it. Great race last night, and it just shows you have to think as a sprinter, whatever start you have in a race, you are going to run well and get what you want out of the race. That's what the mentality you have to be. If you're putting too much emphasis, you're going to define your race by that block start and saying, if it's a good start, great race. If it's a bad start, it's a bad race. And that's what we've got to prevent. We've tried to get the block starts. A lot of athletes try to get the block starts technique right, technique spot on, that they put so much emphasis and importance on it that if they don't get that technique in the race, they start to think, oh, that's a bad race. It's not. The defining point of a block start is, does it create the foundation relaxation for the rest of the race? That is a great block start. And it's way above the relaxation you feel at the start of the race. It's way above the reaction time, the angle, the foot placement, way above it. And it's happened again. Noah Lyles' race yesterday showed that. Great race. So what do you think? How important is the block start? Do you put too much emphasis as a sprinter on it? It's a great question. Tell me in the comments below, and I'll speak to you soon.